Hi there, it's Sandy, your sister and your friend. Welcome to tonight's video. Tonight we're back in the Course in Miracles, and I'm covering lessons 131 and 132. And I've entitled these two lessons, We Think We Live in a Hell That Does Not Exist. I'm going to read these two lessons to you tonight. I've changed some of the pronouns just to make it easier to read and to know that we're all in this together. The Course doesn't ask us to believe these lessons. It just says if we will practice the ideas, we will find out that they are true. It's trying to help us reach a different perception of everything in this world. Now, in these two particular lessons, the Course is trying to get us to accept the idea that the world we think we live in, that's full of uncertainty, pain, and tragedy, does not actually exist. It reinforces the central idea that there is no world. Everything is just as God created it, but because beliefs are so powerful, that means that our belief in illusions is just as powerful as our belief in the truth. But if we're willing to change our mind on what we want to see, the world must change accordingly. So if we will deny all illusions and accept the truth, we will free up the world and we'll be entering the real world here together. So I'm going to read these lessons now. Lesson 131, no one can fail who asks to reach the truth. Failure is all about us while we seek for goals which cannot be achieved. We look for permanence in the impermanent, for love where there is none, for safety in the midst of danger, immortality within the darkness of the dream of death. Who could succeed where contradiction is the setting of his searching and the place to which he comes to find stability? Goals which are meaningless are not attained. There is no way to reach them, for the means by which we strive for them are as meaningless as they are. Who can use such senseless means and hope through them to gain in anything? Where can they lead? And what can they achieve that offers any hope of being real? Pursuit of the imagined leads to death because it is a search for nothingness. And while we seek for life, we ask for death. We look for safety and security while in our hearts we pray for danger and protection of the little dream we made. Yet searching is inevitable here. For this we came, and we will surely do the thing we came for. But the world cannot dictate the goal for which we search unless we give it power to do so. Otherwise, we still are free to choose a goal that lies beyond the world and every worldly thought, and one which comes to us from an idea relinquished yet remembered, old yet new, an echo of a heritage forgot, yet holding everything we really want. Be glad that search we must. Be glad as well to learn we search for heaven and must find the goal we really want. No one can fail to want this goal and reach it in the end. God's Son cannot seek vainly, though he try to force delay, deceive himself, and think that it is hell he seeks. When he is wrong, he finds correction. When he wanders off, he is led back to his appointed path. No one remains in hell, for no one can abandon his Creator, nor affect his perfect, timeless, and unchanging love. We will find heaven. Everything we seek but this will fall away, but not because it has been taken from us. It will go because we do not want it. We will reach the goal we really want as certainly as God created us in sinlessness. So why wait for heaven? It is here today. Time is the great illusion. It is past or in the future. Yet this cannot be if it is where God wills his Son to be. How could the will of God be in the past or yet to happen? What he wills is now, without a past and wholly futureless. It is as far removed from time as is a tiny candle from a distant star, or what we choose from what we really want. Heaven remains our one alternative to this strange world we made and all its ways, its shifting patterns and uncertain goals, its painful pleasures and its tragic joys. God made no contradictions. What denies its own existence and attacks itself is not of him. He did not make two minds, with heaven as the glad effect of one, and the earth the other's sorry outcome, which is heaven's opposite in every way. God does not suffer conflict, nor is his creation split in two. How could it be his son could be in hell when God himself established him in heaven? Could he lose what the eternal will has given him to be his home forever? Let us try no longer to impose an alien will upon his single purpose. He is here because he wills to be, and what he wills is present now, beyond the reach of time. Today we will not choose a paradox in place of truth. How could the Son of God make time to take away the will of God? He thus denies himself and contradicts what has no opposite. He thinks he made a hell opposing heaven and believes that he abides in what does not exist, while heaven is the place he cannot find. Leave foolish thoughts like these behind today and turn your mind to true ideas instead. No one can fail who asks to reach the truth, and it is truth we ask to reach today. We will devote 10 minutes to this goal 3 times today, and we will ask to see the rising of the real world to replace the foolish images that we held dear, with true ideas arising in the place of thoughts which have no meaning, no effect, and neither source nor substance in the truth. This we acknowledge as we start upon our practice periods, so we will begin by saying this. I ask to see a different world and think a different kind of thought from those I made. The world I seek I did not make alone. The thoughts I want to think are not my own. So for several minutes, watch your mind and see, although your eyes are closed, the senseless world you think is real. Review the thoughts as well which are compatible with such a world and which you think are true. Then let them go and sink below them to the holy place where they cannot enter. There is a door beneath them in your mind which you could not completely lock to hide what lies beyond. Seek for that door and find it. But before you try to open it, remind yourself no one can fail who asks to reach the truth, and it is this request you make today. Nothing but this has any meaning now. No other goal is valued now or sought. Nothing before this door you really want, and only what lies past it do you seek. Put out your hand and see how easily the door swings open with your one intent to go beyond it. Angels light the way so that all darkness vanishes, and you're standing in a light so bright and clear that you can understand all things you see. A tiny moment of surprise, perhaps, will make you pause before you realize the world you see before you in the light reflects the truth you knew and did not quite forget in wandering away in dreams. You cannot fail today. There walks with you the Spirit heaven sent you, that you might approach this door someday and, through his aid, slip effortlessly past it to the light. Today, that day has come. Today, God keeps his ancient promise to his Holy Son, and does his Son remember his to him. This is a day of gladness, for we come to the appointed time and place where you will find the goal of all your searching here and all the seeking of the world, which end together as you pass beyond the door. Remember often that today should be a time of special gladness, and refrain from dismal thoughts and meaningless laments. Salvation's time has come. Today is set by heaven itself to be a time of grace for you and the world. If you forget this happy fact, remind yourself by saying this: Today I seek and find all that I want. My single purpose promises it to me. No one can fail who asks to reach the truth. Lesson 131. I loose the world from all I thought it was. What keeps the world in chains but our beliefs? And what can save the world except our higher self? Belief is powerful indeed. The thoughts we hold are mighty, and illusions are as strong in their effects as is the truth. A madman thinks the world he sees is real and does not doubt it, nor can he be swayed by questioning his thoughts' effects. It is but when their source is raised to question that the hope of freedom comes to him at last. Yet is salvation easily achieved, for anyone is free to change his mind, and all his thoughts change with it. Now the source of thought has shifted, for to change our mind means we have changed the source of all ideas we think or ever thought or yet will think. We free the past from what we thought before. We free the future from all ancient thoughts of seeking what we do not want to find. The present now remains the only time. Here in the present is the world set free. For as we let the past be lifted and release the future from our ancient fears, we find escape and give it to the world. We have enslaved the world with all of our fears, our doubts and miseries, our pains and tears, and all our sorrows press upon it and keep it a prisoner to our beliefs. Death strikes it everywhere because we hold the bitter thought of death within our minds. The world is nothing in itself. Our minds must give it meaning. And what we behold upon it are our wishes, acted out so we can look on them and think them real. Perhaps we think we did not make the world, but came unwillingly to what was already made, hardly waiting for our thoughts to give it meaning. Yet, in truth, we found exactly what we looked for when we came. There is no world apart from what we wish, and herein lies our ultimate release. Change but our minds on what we want to see, and all the world must change accordingly. Ideas leave not their source. This central theme is often stated in the text and must be borne in mind if we would understand the lesson for today. It is not pride which tells us that we made the world we see and that it changes as we change our minds, but it is pride that argues we have come into a world quite separate from ourselves, impervious to what we think, and quite apart from what we chance to think it is. There is no world. This is the central thought the Course attempts to teach. Not everyone is ready to accept it, and everyone must go as far as he can let himself be led along the road to truth. He will return and go still further, or perhaps step back a while and then return again. But healing is the gift of those who are prepared to learn there is no world and can accept the lesson now. Their readiness will bring the lesson to them in some form which they can understand and recognize. Some see it suddenly on point of death and rise to teach it. Now, this might be a reference to near-death experiences. Others find it in experience that is not of this world, which shows them that the world does not exist because what they behold must be the truth, and yet it clearly contradicts the world. And now this might be referring to mystical experiences. And some will find it in this course and in the exercises that we do today. Today's idea is true because the world does not exist, and if it is indeed your own imagining, then you can loose it from all things you ever thought it was by merely changing all the thoughts that gave it these appearances. The sick are healed as you let go all thoughts of sickness, and the dead arise when you let thoughts of life replace all thoughts you ever held of death. A lesson earlier repeated once must now be stressed again, for it contains the firm foundation for today's idea. We are as God created us. There is no place where we can suffer, and no time that can bring change to our eternal state. How can a world of time and place exist if we remain as God created us? What is the lesson for today except another way of saying that to know your higher self is the salvation of the world? To free the world from every kind of pain is but to change your mind about yourself. There is no world apart from your ideas, because ideas leave not their source, and you maintain the world within your mind in thought. Yet, if you are as God created you, you cannot think apart from Him, nor make what does not share His timelessness and love. Are these inherent in the world you see? Does it create like Him? Unless it does, it is not real and cannot be at all. If you are real, the world you see is false, for God's creation is unlike the world in every way. And as it was His thought by which you were created, so it is your thoughts which made it and must set it free, that you may know the thoughts you share with God. Release the world. Your real creations wait for this release to give you fatherhood, not of illusions, but as God in truth. God shares His fatherhood with you who are His son, for He makes no distinctions in what is Himself and what is still Himself. What He creates is not apart from Him, and nowhere does the Father end and the Son begin as something separate from Him. There is no world because it is a thought apart from God and made to separate the Father and the Son and break away a part of God Himself and thus destroy His wholeness. Can a world which comes from this idea be real? Can it be anywhere? Deny illusions, but accept the truth. Deny you are a shadow briefly laid upon a dying world. Release your mind, and you will look upon a world released. Today, our purpose is to free the world from all the idle thoughts we ever held about it and about all living things we see upon it. They cannot be there no more than we, for we are in the home our Father set for us along with them. And we who are as He created us would loose this world this day from every one of our illusions, that we may be free. So we will begin the 15-minute periods in which we practice twice today with this thought: I who remain as God created me would loose the world from all I thought it was, for I am real because the world is not, and I would know my own reality. Then merely rest, alert, but with no strain, and let your mind in quietness be changed so that the world is freed along with you. We need not realize that healing comes to many brothers far across the world, as well as to the ones we see nearby, as we send out these thoughts to bless the world. But we will sense our own release, although we may not fully understand as yet that we could never be released alone. So throughout the day, increase the freedom sent through your ideas to all the world, and say whenever you are tempted to deny the power of your simple change of mind, just say this: I loose the world from all I thought it was, and choose my own reality instead. God bless you. I hope you enjoyed these 2 lessons. I just go back and listen to them as I'm doing other things during my day. There's just so much here. I love you so much. God bless. Bye-bye.